to Toffee, Lyon, your source for all things Everton. I am still Gerry, and that's still Edward, and we also have David with us again, because he can't turn his computer off, and he's stuck. So he has no choice. So let's go ahead and dive into this Lyon reaction, because I want to get it over with. So both of you guys went the game yesterday. I don't know who would like to go first, but I want to get your first takes on what happened and what the stadium was like and all that stuff. So, Edward, David, anybody want to take it and roll?
I mean, I'm not in a rush to do this one, so if Edward wants to go, he can.
Well, in the alphabet, D comes before E.
So we're doing it alphabetical now? Is that what's going now?
You can have it. Have it alphabetical.
All right, okay. Well, I feel like going into the game, there was a bit of an atmosphere change throughout the day. It seemed everybody was going there with the intention of getting behind the team, which is something that's been a little bit rare at Goodison for a while now. But it was good to see, and we got in there, and as the teams come out, you know, the atmosphere was good. You could see the fans were up for it. I mean, the issue was within 5 minutes we were 1-0 down. It was a terrible challenge by Holgate. I'm not sure if he was caught out of position. I haven't seen the Challenger game, but it looks like he tried to bomb over. It was a stonewall penalty. It was dispatched well as well. So 1-0 down straight away. That's kind of knocked the stuffing out the fans a little bit. And then pretty much for the rest of the first half, we were served with the same kind of dross that we've had all season so far. It was really difficult to kind of get any sort of excitement going in the stands, because we weren't creating anything again. It was slow, lackluster. And half time, I'm going to be honest, I thought we were just going to go out with a whimper again. Klassen, I mean, I felt really sorry for them, because I think the guy's just got no confidence whatsoever. But he couldn't even do a 5-yard pass yesterday. I don't want to get on his back, because I think he's probably kind of as a result of our terrible form at the moment, because there's a few in there who've just got no confidence. But he was taken off at half time. It was almost a mercy substitution by Koeman. But it was good to see Lookman come on finally. I thought he injected some pace into the team. You know, we looked sharper. We started having a little go. But I think that's the turning point, as is quite often the case with Everton, was the melee that happened, and, you know, the kind of riling the fans up. You know, everyone's talked about the punches getting thrown. I don't want to dwell too much on that. I'd rather talk about what happened on the pitch. But it got everyone pulling in the right direction again. The fans were fired up. The players got fired up. And typically, as is often the case with football, Williams, who was in the middle of it all, a few minutes later pops up and scores the equaliser. And for me, it just had that feel of the winner's going to come here. It's going to be a great comeback, one of those nights to remember. But, you know, sadly, 6 minutes later, yeah. Like, we've been there so many times before. I think it was Ramirez who made a mistake, or he tackled his own player.
Sandro Martinez.
Yeah, it was a farce anyway, and they've gone and scored the second, and it just completely sucker punched us, and, you know, the players were distraught. I think the fans were even worse, and we just never come back into it. It was just another sucker punch. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard, and I think it was kind of walking out. It was the type of defeat, I've said it already, that you know, you probably could have forgiven if we played well in previous weeks, but just because how poor we'd been, it was hard to really come out with any sort of positives. Yeah, tough night again.
Edward?
Yeah, I'm just, like you said at the start, I mean, the atmosphere was great. I thought tonight everyone's realised. The players, the fans, managers, everything like that knew that this was a game for us to win. So immediately from the get-go, the atmosphere felt a lot better, less toxic. But then the whole penalty thing, it was a definite penalty. I mean, it happened right in front of us and we could see for sure, yeah, that's definite penalty. I think it was probably Holgate getting caught way too far out of position, because I think either him or one of the midfielders lost the ball. They were able to counter, and then Holgate had to put in a really bad challenge. But looking at it, I mean, obviously getting back into it, I was one of the many fans who thought, yeah, we're going to get back into this, we're going to get the win. We got back into it, yeah. We all thought, yeah, this is going to be the time that we get the win, we get the 3 points, we start turning this season around. And then the absolute heartbreak. It wasn't even like disappointment or anything, like it was just heartbreak right at the end. I mean, you just look at all around you, everyone just, the hopes and dreams just went straight away. And it's sad as well that it came from the goal came from one of the worst players on the pitch, in my opinion. I thought he was absolutely despicable on the night, because a lot of them, I don't know if this, a lot of the fouls, but they spent way too long on the ground, especially considering most of them were fine for most of the time afterwards. It was just ridiculous. I mean, the one person that went off was actually from our team, and it was Schneiderlin with a proper injury, and the rest of them were just diving about, which sad. It's sad, really, that it had to come down to that.
Yeah. Trying to figure out where to start on this.
At the very beginning.
Yeah, I saw some fight, which was nice in that game. I agree with David. I think if we had had a few wins going into that one, the result would have been a lot easier to stomach. We would have said, you know what, we deserve to win. We had a performance. Let's keep going. You know, but you can only stomach so much bad luck. You know, Martinez. You know, how many times did Martinez come out and say, you know what, we had the run of play, we just weren't fortunate? He said that a lot. Like, it was a really common thing for him to say. Now, sometimes it was true, and other times he was being delusional. It was kind of silly. But for the most part, you know, it happened to him a lot. And I feel like that's what happens with a team when they're starting to break down. When something is very wrong in the spirit of the team. You know, when things are just not going your way. All right? Holgate made a tackle for that penalty that my 5-year-old has been doing lately, okay? Where it's just this, you decide a couple of seconds that you're going to make that tackle, no matter what they do with it, all right? And it's sloppy. It's actually a little bit lazy, you know? But I don't want to dwell on that, because you know what? The guy feels awful today.
Yeah.
You know, he feels terrible, and he's not the reason we lost that game. All right, he's not.
Sandro Martina.
I don't even think that they're necessarily at fault either. You know, for us losing the game. I will say their second goal
Came from that.
But two people really screwed up in that second goal, and I'm going to say Martina for getting totally burned to the line to let that cross in. He got like he was standing still. He looked slow, all right? Martina had a bad game, all right? I watched him play, and I've seen him play an acceptable left back role before. This was bad, all right? It was just, he could not play the position yesterday. It made me long for Leighton Baines, all right? We had no attack going up the left side, zero, all right? And then, honestly, I think Keane should have prevented Traore from putting that ball in.
Yeah, that was one of Keane's worst
I don't
games.
think Keane had a good game at all.
He gave the ball away so often, like very often, very sloppy. And you were right about Clausen. Clausen looked shaken. You know, routine
So you're going to
passes.
say something else?
Oh, I was nicer. It was cool seeing Morales get snide, right? You know, I like him kind of getting in people's face, and I love that. I thought Schneiderlin played better
I thought Schneider had one of his best games. That
You
night.
know?
I thought he did really well.
Certain
Williams
players
as well.
Yeah, that's the next person I was going to say. Some people played better than they had before. All right. So there was life. There was some promise. I just don't know if it was enough. All right. I got to tell you though, when we start getting in Edward, in your instant match reaction, you mentioned that our momentum kind of died when Sandro came in.
Yeah.
All right. I think it was partly that. But I also noticed, do you notice how in the last 10 minutes, this is the pattern of our attack. The ball would go to Pickford. So Pickford's got it now. So he would either blast it with his, when it's up from the ground or from a drop kick. It would blast it straight down the middle to their 18. They would win the header every time because Calvert-Lewin won none of those headers. Those long balls, he didn't win any of those unless they were closer to the 18. They would win that header, they would receive it, they would go down, they would put it across our goal line, goal kick, repeat. Over and over again. Keep trying to force balls in the air to their 18, and they won it every time. It was so frustrating because we weren't attacking, we weren't trying to do, because we were trying to create something quickly because we knew we were running out of time. It was a desperation kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch. I hated the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was because you could tell we had the desire to do it, but we were attacking it the wrong way. I don't know if that was coaching or just everybody is thinking we gotta score right now.
I think what I thought is a bit of an issue is kind of Everton for a long time have been very much a team that exploit the flanks with wing backs, left backs, right backs, and we've got Baines who can still do that job, especially if he's got someone in front of him, and we've got Coleman who's been out for a while. But the problem is, I think Everton are still trying to play with that mentality, but
they haven't got the players.
Just haven't got the players to do it. Holgate can't do that. Martina, who I don't like Martina, but I do think sometimes he can be scapegoated a little bit. I just think he's a real average player. But the pair of them are not good enough to be our main source of attack. So Everton just seem to rely on putting it out wide and hoping something's going to work out there, which it doesn't. Or looking absolutely clueless, trying to find another avenue in which to attack. I think this is where we see so much of this slow build-up play because nobody knows where to go. Nobody wants to take responsibility, try and make something happen. Morelos was good yesterday. I've been his critic in the past, but he looked creative. So did Vlasic again. And, but they were the only ones I thought who were trying to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and kind of create things and make things happen. Everybody else is very much defensive minded, and they're just kind of looking to get the ball moving on to somebody else and hope they're the ones that are going to create something. And I think that's why we're constantly hitting this brick wall. I think we need the likes of Balassi and Coleman to come back in.
I think we need Barkley back.
Yeah, we said about Barkley last time, didn't we?
See, I think this whole situation at the minute, it's literally every other position as well. It's fitting square pegs into round holes. It's the same. I mean, left back and right back, you can clearly see Holgate, Martina are not left backs and right backs. It's like obviously circle holes, Baines, Coleman, perfect fit. Then you've got Kenny and Garbutt who have got a little bit on the edge, may not be able to fit in, but sanding down, they'll fit in perfectly. Garbutt, I do not understand what he's got to do to get a game, right? He's been brilliant for the under-23s, scored a banging free kick the other week against City, under-23s, and he has Europa League experience, and when he's played it, he has done good. So why was he not played last night instead of Martina? I mean, I wouldn't even have minded Martina being right back and Garbutt being left back. But it's this whole situation with Coleman again being stubborn and choosing his players over ones that are proven.
Yeah.
Well, I have heard, and David, you may be in a better position to answer this. I have heard Garbutt, as far as the defensive duties in U23, he's still trying to get up to strength on that. Offensively, I've heard he puts in a really strong ball, but it's more defensively where he needs to keep refining his game.
Yeah, yeah, and that's probably a fair assessment of his game, to be honest. But equally, Edward is right. I think he probably would be a better option because I think the modern game now, that wing back position, sometimes it's almost better to be better going forward than being as a defender. I know that seems crazy to say, but the wing back position now is such an important offensive weapon that defensively sometimes you find now a lot of the best wing backs in the world even aren't necessarily the best defenders, but it's what they offer going forward. And I think Garby, he's got a great set piece on him. He puts in great crosses, and yeah, I'd like to see him back. I'm not sure if I've seen something that we won't potentially see him in the first team till January. I don't know if maybe there's an issue with he hasn't been registered for the first team. Someone might have to.
I don't think he has. He's still got a squad number though, hasn't he? He's got
yeah, but maybe I might be wrong. I remember seeing the headline but didn't read the article. But yeah, I still think we've got to bring him in again. And
no,
I don't think
he's still got a squad number
when
though,
he's been out on loan.
36.
But I'd like to give him another shot anyway. See how he gets on.
I mean, to agree with you guys, I point out what I've heard is his negative, but I also say I think he's probably a safer bet than Martina on the left.
Yeah.
After last night's performance, after I saw that, I would rather have Garbett starting over him. Right now, I'm kind of, I don't know. Martina, I still don't think he's our main problem, but last night proved to me that he's a liability at left back. So we need to kind of move on. I have a few questions. Let's make these quick little short questions and quick little short answers. So is that the kind of performance, after we saw that, is that the kind of performance that initiates a managerial change?
Yes and no.
Yeah, maybe not last night's performance, but the performances that have come before it, definitely.
Okay. I would say that if we somehow beat Arsenal, I think he'll stay in.
Yes.
And if we perform well and still draw, I think he'll stay in for a little longer. We lose to Arsenal, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt
no
about
doubt
it.
about
Definitely.
it.
I think a lot of last night was just the occasion, obviously, as well. As we all said, we knew that they had to win that really to have any chance of getting out the group. So maybe a lot they were fired up themselves. It'd be interesting to see Arsenal when you're not in that environment anymore. It's another Premier League game. Have to wait and see.
But Arsenal have won that last game as well, so they're going to be brimming with confidence. I personally think he's going to think that formation didn't work, so he's going to go back to the 3 number 10s. I'm calling it now. He will go back to 3 number 10s.
So, next question. Did the fight make us play better?
Yes. Yeah. It's a shame, but yeah.
So next question. You see Lyon supporters, a lot of them asking if this is even football. So do you think, you guys were there, was our team out of line?
I think Williams was lucky just to get a yellow card, but I think except for that, it was a lot of handbags. I actually think it would be forgotten about if the guy who had his son didn't throw a punch. I think it wouldn't even be in today's news, but because that was so extraordinary, I think that's why it is.
Yeah. It wasn't needed, but it happens. And like you say, Williams was lucky to escape with it, but some of the reactions their players had weren't great either.
That was my next question. Wasn't there... I mean, we were very physical with them, which I was actually fine with. I was totally fine with our physicality. I was totally fine with kind of bodying them up. Honestly, I understood... This is kind of weird, but I understood Williams bumping their keeper because their keeper had just bumped him off the ball. Now, Williams's push was a foul because he extended and the keeper did not. So yeah, but them kind of getting all over. I think it just escalated from there. But they were kind of out of line too because they flopped every time we touched them. I hate watching that. But it's gamesmanship. It's not sportsmanship. You know what I mean? I feel like didn't Apollon do the same thing when we were playing against them?
They weren't as bad.
You know, trying to waste time by pretending like they were hurt. I feel like they were the team I'm thinking of. It was just I hate it. It's not even football. It's not even. But to be fair to Lyon, before we catch a lot of Lyon supporters saying, Gerry, what are you doing? They're a good team. They're fast. They have some talented players. My only negative thing I have to say about them is they flopped, period. And they did.
That keeper had a very good game, actually.
You know? He did. He really did. So, any final thoughts at all? Or have we said what we need to say? Have we gotten all the bad air out?
I just want to say that I think we've still got a slim chance of qualifying. I think if we win our remaining games, we'll finish on 10 points. I think that could get you second in the group if things go our way. So there's still a chance.
But we've still got to win them all. And can you honestly see that happening?
Yeah.
I can see it happening if there's a managerial shift.
Ooh. Yeah.
The next couple of weeks then. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think that's the whole thing they're waiting for, is if we've got no chance of getting out of Europe, that's when he's going to go.
Okay.
Watch this.
I hope not. Okay, so that is it for a Lyon match reaction. Please, if you are watching us on YouTube, like, subscribe, give us comments. We want to hear from you. Please check out Edward's channel, James. His details are down there in the lower regions of the description.
Matchday vlog coming out soon.
And I totally didn't.
Matchday vlog coming out soon.
Ah, yes, what he said. Also, David writes just like huge long
Gospels.
volumes every day. So you should be finding a way to read his stuff. A lot of it is on the Toffee Blues website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please do.
Okay. Well, that's it. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Bye bye.